And for a very gentle session, just lift and roll your shoulders back. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Into the left. And breathing out, turn the head to the right. Drop the chin to the chest. Bless you. Roll the chin up to the left. Looking over the left shoulder. Drop the chin back to the centre. And rolling the chin up to the right, over the right shoulder. Back to the centre, chin to chest. Roll again to the left. And in your own time, dropping your chin back to the centre and rolling to the right. And then dropping the chin to the centre. Just placing a hand on your chest and just connect your hand to your chest as you lift your chin up. It's a very much more controlled lift. And then lower the hand. Breathing in, raise the right hand up, stretch it up, and breathing out, just slide the left hand down the left thigh towards the knee, chin to chest, press the feet in, stretch up, and then lower the right hand. Breathing in, raise the left hand, stretch it up, right hand connects to the right thigh, chin to chest, and just coming over, sliding the hand down. Press the feet into the ground, stretch up, and breathing out, lower the left hand. Lift and roll the shoulders backwards. Breathing in, raise the right hand. Breathing out, turn the head to the left. Into the centre with the head. And breathing out, lower the right arm. And then breathing in, raise the left arm. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Breathing in, come back to the centre with the head. And breathing out, lower the left arm. Lift and roll both shoulders. Breathing in, raise both arms. Clasp your hands and reverse them. Stretch up. Breathing out, go to the left, chin into the chest. Breathing in, come to the centre, and breathing out, go to the right, chin to chest. Breathing in, come to the centre, and gently turn to the left. Come to the centre, and very gently turn now to the right. And come to the centre. Lower the hands onto the waist. And breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Come back to the centre. Breathing in, lift the heels and just test our balance today. And then very gently, when you're ready, breathe out and lower the heels to the ground. Soften the knees, bend the knees, and as you bend them, you'll feel your abdominal muscles engaging. You can look on the floor so that the back of your neck is not straining, and then press the feet into the ground and come up to standing again. And then lower the hands. And then circle the wrists up and just open out like sun rays, and then circle the wrists down. And again, circle your wrists up. Stretch your fingers out and circle the wrists down. Standing on your left foot, raise your right heel and maybe have your right foot slightly out to the right. And just circle your, well, it'll be circling your knee, but it circles the whole ankle as well. And then circle the knee and the ankle in the opposite direction. And then lower the heel back down to the ground. And then come to rest your weight on the right side as you lift your left heel, keeping the left toes on the ground. And then circle the knee in one direction. And then circle the knee in the opposite direction. And then lower the heel. Lift and roll your shoulders, clasp the hands behind you and aim the knuckles to the ground, so opening up your shoulders and your lung meridians. And breathing out, turn to the left, come to the centre, and breathing out, turn to the right. Come to the centre. Just lift your hands away from you a little bit, if that's open or available to you. And once more, turn to the left. Come to the centre and turn to the right. And come to the centre. Release the hands, lift and roll the shoulders, and then stepping the feet hip-width apart, come to swaying from side to side. You can lift your heels or keep your heels on the ground, depending on what works for you. And then very gently start to slow the sway down. And then come to the centre. Lift and roll your shoulders. Bring your feet to a comfortable hip width apart if they're not there already. And breathing in, raise your arms up and out. Bring the arms back. Turn the palms down and away. Come back and lower the hands. Palms up and out as you breathe in. Back, palms down, back and lower. Again, palms up and out, back, palms down, back and lower. And again. And make this the last time. And lower. Lift and roll the shoulders. We're going to come into half salute to the sun. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees. Breathing in as you circle the arms up to where it works for you. Palms together. Come through the heart centre. Soften your knees, slide the hands down to the shins, breathing in, half lift. Breathing out, soften the knees, bend the elbows, curl in. Breathing in, half lift, and stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And when you're ready, breathe in, circle the arms up, stretch the fingers, thumbs behind you, little fingers in front, and then lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Palms together at the heart centre. Soften the knees, circle hands up to where it suits you, palms together. Come through the heart centre, softening the knees, hands down onto the shins, breathing in, half lift, Breathing out, soften in. Breathing in, half lift. And breathing out, stay where you are. Breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Breathing in, circling the arms up to where it suits you, stretch the fingers, and breathing out, lower the hands. Now we'll do that again, hands together at the heart centre, soften the knees, circle the arms up. Palms together, meeting at the top, coming through the heart centre, bending the knees to the shins, half lift. Breathing out, curling. Breathing in, half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. Soften the knees, press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch the hands up, fingers out, and then relax the palms and just circle the wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands on the waist, stepping again hip width apart. And just very, very gently begin to circle your hips in one direction. We're swirling the energy around the lower abdominal area. How much you swirl is up to you. You can be small or more exaggerated. At the same time, you're opening under the arms, and it's helpful for the upper lymphatic system. And then circle your hips in the opposite direction. And then come to standstill. Lower the hands, bring your feet back to hip width apart, palms together at the heart centre. And we're going to come to lying on the mat, knees bent, feet hip width apart. Take a moment to settle yourself. So knees are up to the ceiling, feet are on the floor, knees are bent, palms are either palms down on the ground beside you, or they're resting on your abdomen. Just take a moment to connect with the breath. And breathe in through the nose, but breathe out through the mouth. And just in your own breath time, a few breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And just have a couple of breaths there. And then very gently bring your palms down alongside you on the mat. And just very gently start to sway the knees from side to side. Your hips will just very gently lift off the ground. And your knees can come a little bit to one side, or they can come a lot down to the side. And you can choose to linger on one side as well. You're massaging across your bottom, your lower back. It's really your bottom, the top of the bottom. And as you establish the rhythm that works for you, whether it be lingering or whether it's a little bit of more movement, you have an option to start to bring your head into the movement. So as the knees drop to one side, you might like to turn your head in the opposite direction, away from the knees. Just engage your tummy muscles in slightly, which is easier lying on your back, to bring your knees upright. Your perineum engages upwards slightly. And then just let your knees drift to the other side, turning your head perhaps to look away from your knees. Your hip will be lifting off the ground. And again, just establish a pattern that works for you, you lingering in parts that might need extra focus or time today, where it feels good. Enjoy the swaying from side to side. And then come back to the centre with your knees and bending at the elbows, raise your arms above you and clasp your hands, placing them underneath your head so that your elbows are out to the side. Just take a breath in and out here, and you're just connecting again to the upper lymphatic system under the arms as you open them out. Again, if that's too much for anybody for whatever reason, then you can bring your elbows slightly together. That will lessen the opening under the arms. Just be comfortable. And we're just going to engage the core muscles, just an awareness of the core. The tummy or the abdominal muscles, if they're weak in any way, and they can often be affected by stress, then we let our back do all the heavy duty work. So engaging the core is helpful, but not, again, too much. So when you next breathe out, flatten your back to the ground, engage your muscles and just lift your head supported by your hands, only a little bit. If your tummy domes, you've gone too far. And then relax back down to the earth and let your arms, elbows open out. And just take a recovery breath. And then when you're ready, flatten the back again. Lift up. Your chin will come into your chest. Your elbows might come slightly closer together. And then when you're ready, just relax back down to the earth. Your head's being supported, your neck's being supported. And open your elbows out as far as works for you and is comfortable. And then one last breathing out, tummy in, perineum engages, lifting up slightly, elbows towards one another, chin to chest. And then when you're ready, just lower the head back down to the ground. Slide the fingers out from underneath your head, and then just place the palms down on the mat alongside you. And just a couple of pelvic tilts here, so flattening the back as if you're going to lift your bottom when they're releasing, so there's a little gap under the lower back. And just do that a couple of times. Just really massaging the back in the opposite direction. And then coming to focus on the left knee, hug the left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg along the ground. And just enjoy the hugging of the knee into the chest. Your right leg doesn't have to be right along the ground, just stretching it out. And then when you're ready, holding your left knee with your right hand, your left elbow might come to the ground to help you. Roll the entire body over to the right. If you've got a support or a blanket, you might like a support underneath your left knee, inner leg. Your right hand goes somewhere on the outside of your right thigh. And for the moment, we're going to just keep our left hand on the waist. Extend the right heel so that you're really stretching into the body and then release and relax. You're looking upwards or slightly to the left. Your eyes can be open or closed. If If you really enjoy stretching out, you can raise your left arm above you on the mat. The elbow, the back of the hand might come towards the ground. But that's an additional and a stronger stretch for under the arm. Or just keep your left hand on your waist. At any time you want to stretch out, extend your right heel and just release and relax, coming backwards to where you were. It's a rotation which is very aligning for the back. And the rotation is particularly helpful because the earth is supporting your body. Your back muscles aren't being asked to support your weight, and so you can safely and very easily get into this rotation. But to come out of it, just roll out onto your back. Both hands on the mat, both feet on the floor so that your knees are bent, and press your feet down so that you lift your bottom and straighten your body out. And then hug the right knee into the chest. If you want support and you've got support, you can move your bolster or cushion or pillow to the left. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then just take your time to extend the left leg along the floor. And when you're ready, roll the entire body to the left. You might need your right elbow to help you roll to the left. If you've got a bolster or a blanket, you can place that underneath your right inner leg. Your right hand goes on the right waist, and your left hand goes on the outer part of your right thigh. Looking either up or to the right. Eyes open or closed. If you extend your right heel, you'll stretch your body out and then just relax back in again. And if you want the extra stretch under your right arm, optionally you can raise your right arm above the head, perhaps back of the hand or the knuckles resting on the ground above you. That is a stronger stretch. Otherwise, keep your hand on your right waist. It's tender under the armpit, yes it is. Yeah. It connects into your lymph system. So if you wanted a stronger stretch, the ultimate is to open your arm out like a book, palms down, and that is really strong at shoulder height. That really does open you out. It is normal, it means that you're giving maybe your lymph system's under a little bit of strain. It's just opening out and giving space for the upper lymphatic system. And then very gently roll once more onto your back. Bend your knees and place your feet onto the ground so that you can press your feet down and just straighten your back out. And then this time, now hug your left knee into your chest. Settle yourself there. And then let the right knee lift up and join it so that both knees are hugging into the chest. Let both knees drift away to arm's length. And just do this a few times to your own breath pattern, hugging both knees into the chest. Let both knees drift away. If you want this to be a comfort movement, then just enjoy the hugging of the knees into the chest. If you want to add in an additional core focus and lower abdominal focus and toning up internal focus, then let your hands just lightly hold your knees and let your abdominal muscles do the work of pulling your knees into your chest, and your perineum will engage. That's a harder option. It's what you're supposed to do. It's very comforting just to hug your knees into your chest, so you've got the choice. And here we're working on the 5 energies. Of the 5 energies, we're working on the foundational Apana energy here. So not surprisingly, this is a variation on Apanasana, the Sanskrit name for this pose. There are lots of variations of this. It's very soothing. It mimics the sort of fetal position. Very lovely on the lower back as well. Very helpful for massaging your back yourself. The weight of your body is doing the massage for you. And you can carry on doing this, or you might like to keep your knees together. And as you hug the knees into the chest, just give them a little circle around both knees and moving together. So that you're circling around almost a very small area at the lower back. Or just keep hugging the knees into the chest. If you are circling, then the invitation is to circle now in the opposite direction. So if you've been travelling or you are about to do any travelling, this hugging of the knees into the chest can be very helpful to almost like rejuvenate a stiff back. And then just holding the knees into the chest, just slightly rock from side to side. Back of your head might move with you, so the head here moves in the same direction as the knees. Of all the energies, the Apana foundational energy, if this energy is out, then all your energies are out. So this energy is one of the key focus. It grounds you. So if you're someone who gets very stressed out and your energy is flying around your head, this is a very useful Muladhara, base chakra, base of the spine, grounding energy. It is helpful to bring the energy down to the ground. In yoga therapy, although I don't know that traditionally, but in yoga therapy, if people have epilepsy or they have an epileptic fit, holding their feet is supposed to be very grounding for the energy. And I actually have done that for somebody, and it did bring them actually out of it because it was just connecting to a grounding energy. And then very gently supporting you're holding your knees, just perhaps support your right leg holding underneath the right thigh to bring your right foot to the ground. And then keep hugging your left knee into the chest. Drop your hands to underneath your left thigh and very gently extend your left leg up to the ceiling. Extend your left heel and point your toes. So you're just feeling this along the back of the left leg, extending the left heel and just not pointing the toes, but just going in the opposite direction. And then begin to circle the left ankle a few times in one direction. And then circle the left ankle a few times in the opposite direction. And then just very gently walk your hands up the back of your left leg a little bit. Your knee can be bent still. And you're just bringing your left leg towards your face, but only as far as it works for you. No stress or strain. No straining in the neck. This favours people with long arms. The longer the more you can walk up the back of your leg. If you have got very long arms, you can hold your big left toe and open your left leg to the left for a nanosecond, or hold your left leg wherever it works for you, and then just bend your left leg into your chest again, open your left leg to the left and place your left ankle on top of your right thigh so that your left knee is open to the left, and your hands can rest either palms down or on your abdomen. And we're just going to sway the knees in the same direction from side to side. So this sway can be a little sway or it can be a big sway. Again, depending on what works for you. It's opening on the hip level, but it's also helpful for lower back. And it's in a form of upside down pigeon, so it's a figure of 4, opening the hip. And in the same way that opening up under the arms is helpful for the upper lymphatic system, this opening of the hips is helpful for the lower lymphatic system. And obviously on the left side. And then very gently hug the left knee into the chest and place the left foot on the floor. Either palms down on the mat or on the abdomen, just to sway both knees from side to side. Your hip lifts slightly. And then keep coming to the centre and keeping your left foot where it is as you hug your right knee into the chest. And dropping your hands underneath your right thigh, perhaps clasping your hands together. Raise the right leg gently to the ceiling. You can keep a bend in your right knee. Extend the right heel and point the foot in the opposite direction a couple of times. Just feel the stretch all the way along the back of the leg. And then very gently circle the ankle, the right ankle in one direction. And then circle the ankle in the other direction. And then very gently walk the hands up the back of the right leg, bringing your right leg slightly closer to you. If you have got long arms and you want to go a bit further, you can hold the right big toe with your right hand and open the right leg out to the right. Maybe hold your left thigh, only for a nanosecond. Bring the right leg back, bend the right knee into the chest. And very gently place the right foot onto the floor. Palms down, and then just very gently sway the knees from side to side. We're going to think about rolling to the side to come up onto all fours. And yogically, you'd move to your right, away from your heart, but come to seated, via seated, come to kneeling on your all fours to however you want to do that. So whether you want to rock up or come to your knees, or whatever you want to do works for you. Take your time, don't feel that you need to rush. But in your own time, whether it's via seated or however you want to do, just come very, very gently to your hands and knees on all fours. And when you're there, just sway your hips gently from side to side. And then turn your head to look to the right, over your right shoulder. Come back to the centre and let your head slowly turn to look over the left shoulder. And back to the centre. Classic cat-cow, your knees are hip width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. Breathing in, dipping your back, looking up. If that's not good for your leg, look along the mat. Breathing out, rounding chin to chest. And repeating this to your own breath pattern a few times, dipping the back as you breathe in and look up. Breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Carry on in your own timing. Come to neutral, flat back, stretch your right leg behind you, tuck the right toes under, and just move forwards and backwards, opening up under the toes, opening up your lung meridians. Lower your right leg, stretch your left leg back, tuck your left toes under, and just come forwards and backwards. Bring your left knee down to the mat, tummy in, slide your hands to your knees and kneel upwards, using your hands to trace coming up against your thighs to support you. Breathing in, raising the hands up and clasp them reversed. Go to one side, doesn't matter which. Come to the centre, go to the other side. Come to the centre, lower the hands, lift and roll the shoulders. Place the left hand on your abdomen, right hand on your waist. Breathe in and lengthen the body, and breathe out, turn to look over your right shoulder. Come back to the centre, and then bring your right hand to your navel, left hand to your left waist, and breathing out, turn to look over your left shoulder. Come back to the centre, release your hands, bend slightly forward, and then just place your hands, fists one on top of the other, and rest your forehead on your fist. Your bottom, your knees might want to go wider and hip width apart. If your knees are dodgy, then don't bring your bottom towards your heels, stay up with your bottom up. We're just taking a few breaths in a forward relaxing pose, which is common for the nervous system. If you want to bring your bottom towards your heels, then please do. Your heart is more parallel to the ground here, and so it's quite restful for the body, for the heart. And then from here, just for the upper back, release the hands and just stretch the hands in front of you. Your bottom can be up in puppy pose, or your bottom can be partially up, just stretching out of the upper back. And then sliding the hands towards you. We're going to come to a seated position and come to Baddha Konasana. So I'm putting Sue on the spot. If any of you have any, Sue's a reflexologist, so if any of you have any questions to ask, otherwise Sue will just choose a part of the body, soles of the feet together, hands can massage the inner soles, the inner instep, the inner part of your foot. If Sue has any points,
with your inner step, that's a good place to start. That's your digestive system, basically. The soft part just in your instep is your stomach, and then around it is all your the upper intestine and lower intestine. So if you think in your body, like your stomach and intestines are halfway down your body, it relates to it's halfway down your feet. So it's easier to remember everything like that. If you want to think where something is, if you can't quite remember, reflex point. So that's the stomach area, stomach and intestinal area. The stomach is the inner, softer bit really, and then the outer, harder bits are the colon, lower colon, intestines. Okay. Can you see?
Lee might be interested in this because she's for nutrition and health and whatever.
Oh,
so,
right. Yeah, so
these and that.
So if you can probably, so if I just do it on one foot,
right,
and you can show me from there, probably the other foot's easier, isn't it?
Right, okay.
You'll probably see that better.
Yeah, okay.
Get you in contortion. So that's the area there. So the softer bit in here, that's the stomach area, that's the soft bit.
Soft bit here.
And then the
stomach.
harder area, I'm just doing it quite generally, can't be too specific.
Harder area, which is more towards the outside.
Yes,
of the
more
foot.
in a circle, because obviously your intestinal area goes right round
Okay.
behind and below the stomach is that area. So if you've got stomach problems or want to calm things down, or even if you want to speed things up a bit, you can have a go at massaging that area, and it does work actually. It does.
Really?
Yes,
Be
yes.
warned.
Yes, be warned. Yes, don't go too much.
You disappear and I know what's happened.
Yes, make sure you're at home. Yes, so that's, you can do it on that, but both sides. But obviously, it's difficult to do both. Well, you can sort of do both at the same time if you. Yes, so that's the stomach area.
Just enjoy massaging.
Yes,
your
it's
foot,
quite
maybe.
nice. It's quite nice and relaxing. Stomach. And if you can do it in a clockwise direction each time, because obviously your system works in a clockwise. So you've got your lower, so it goes up and over and then down the other side. I think that's clockwise.
So do you go down on the outside of your foot? Or
We just go round in a circle clockwise. So
oh, okay.
yeah, that's the
Okay.
easiest way to say it.
On both feet.
Yes. Yeah, so it would be one would be yes. Yes, it's a bit odd
Yeah.
to get your brain around doing the same both at the same time. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't do any harm at all. It's just if you want to be a bit pure about it, that's what it is.
So again, really helpful to give time and love to your feet.
I would say honestly, if every night you put some, and what's quite good to do is to put some oil, because that's smaller molecule, so that goes into your feet, and then put some cream on top.
Or like a
Yeah, it's anything like that. So put the oil first, because the smaller molecules, then that goes into your foot, and then the cream on after, and just rub your feet before you go. It's very relaxing and therapeutic to do, especially if you feel a bit sort of, lots of people go to bed a bit hyped up and anxious or not very calm, ready for sleep. It's it's quite nice just to massage your feet.
Well, they do such a lot of work for us. They're supporting us all day. Very little thanks.
Well, the saying is, if your feet aren't right, then you're not right.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Because it's your foundation.
Yes, yeah.
Which if your feet aren't right,
Yeah.
there are areas in the body. There are more than these basic ones. One is under the foot, so that's start. But actually, there are other areas. Another easy one to remember is the perineum. The next one's the diaphragm, and the next one's the throat. So that's what's 5 areas: feet, perineum, diaphragm, and throat. 4 divisions, 5 areas, and the energy can get blocked at each point. So one of the reasons we lift and roll the shoulders back is to let energy travel up from. You can often get trapped here, go up into the head, but the diaphragm, people, again, just breathing properly, and then the perineum upwards to the diaphragm is all your digestive system, which is so important, and then you've got underneath the feet as well. There are little sub areas.
Well, that really ties in with reflexology, because the whole point of reflexology is these reflex points, by you manipulating them, you're actually freeing up those areas that you were talking about. By manipulating the reflex point, that frees up that particular. That's why if you've got a problem, it shows up on your feet with reflexology. If you've got a problem in your body, you can feel it in the feet. So that's what the whole idea of reflexology is releasing those points, those energy points in the body.
And it means that the body's very accessible to you on your feet. I know it's lovely if you have somebody to do it for you.
Yes. Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
That would be even nicer, but anyway, so love my feet. And just enjoy a little bit more. Thank you, Sue. Last massaging your feet. And then we're going to come to a very simple breathwork exercise before inviting you to relax in Yoga Nidra. So just come to a seated position that suits you. This is going to be very gentle. It's not even Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing, it is the step before that. So just anyhow, block your right nostril with your right thumb. And only breathe in and out through your left nostril, your left side, for a few breaths. If you're bunged up for any reason, just soften the right thumb so that you're cheating slightly, but focus on the left side. And then very gently release your hand and breathe in a couple of times through both nostrils and just feel the difference. And then with the same hand, take the ring finger of the right hand and just lightly block the left nostril. It's where the nostril comes, like the end of the nostril, into the nose before it flares out again. And you might note the quality of the breath as the breath comes in, slightly cooler. As the breath goes out, it's slightly warmer. And in Eastern practice, they also note where the breath comes in the nostril. Is it the middle of the nostril? Is it the outer part of the nostril? Is it the inner part? And experienced practitioners can work out their health from the breath, where it settles within the nostrils. It really is stunningly interesting if you're that way inclined, what they can tell. I'm not that evolved. Just enjoy a couple of breaths. And then drop your hand and just breathe through both nostrils again, and just note that your breath might feel differently coming back to breathing through both nostrils, having separated them out. And then coming to a comfortable lying position for you. Your head can be supported, your legs can be supported under a bolster, you can have a blanket, you can lie with your knees bent, you can have your legs straight. I'm going to say upright. So while you're getting comfortable and settled, yes, while you're getting comfortable and settled, any bolsters?
No.
I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about Yoga Nidra. So, and feel free also to alter your position as well. Don't feel that you've got to stay. And one of the things, so Yoga Nidra, it's relaxation. I wanted to start by saying that even closing our eyes, we settle into the alpha brain waves, which operate at 8 to 12 hertz, or reverie it's called. It originates in the occipital lobe of the brain during wakeful relaxation with the eyes closed. And this soporific or relaxation effect is reduced if you have your eyes open. So even closing your eyes filters out some of the outside aspects of life, and it can also have an effect on your brain waves. So Yoga Nidra drifts you down on your brainwave functioning, which is incredibly restful for the brain. You might fall asleep. That's not the aim, but don't worry, most people do drift in and out, and they can't tell you what I've said. It's normal. But the other thing I wanted to say about Yoga Nidra, in its therapeutic applications, there are many. It has an active effect on the dopamine levels. So it increases dopamine levels released by up to 65% because of the association, if you're medically inclined, between the levels of a neurotransmitter and conscious experience. It goes into it, but it has a particularly positive aspect on conscious states and a wide relevance for conditions, and they note specifically Alzheimer's. It's particularly helpful for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. There are various studies that have been done on that. It's helpful for cancer. So there are again various, if anybody's interested, asks me or email me because I can refer you to other resources. Independent clinical levels on anxiety. It's helpful for multiple sclerosis as well, and for stress. And it's also helpful for sleep. So within the Yoga Nidra practice, there are different traditions. And some traditions start with different parts of the body. Some traditions include something called a sankalpa, which is a resolution. Some traditions don't. One of the things that might be surprising if you're not a Yoga Nidra aficionado is that the body parts referenced, or the rotation of consciousness is what it's called, goes quite quickly. You'd think it would be quite slow, but it's not. It's enough to engage the mind. It's an ancient, non-religious Buddhist tradition that engaging the mind very gently keeps the mind slightly awake and moving along. So there's nothing for you to do. Afterwards, I'm going to do a very limited singing bowl and koshi sound, but it will be limited because the sound really doesn't translate particularly well online. And then we'll have some thoughts for the day cards afterwards. So, as I said, there's nothing for you to do. Just focusing on the breath. And just notice as you breathe in that the breath in is slightly cooler. You might trace where the breath goes in your body. And then as you breathe out, the breath just is slightly warmer at the entrance to the nostrils. You might also notice that your tummy slightly expands on the inhalation and slightly contracts on the exhalation. And take a few moments to settle with that breath. And in this Yoga Nidra, I am going to invite us to have a sankalpa, and that's a resolve. It can be very simple. It's something, a wish for yourself or for somebody else, a wish for you today. And you think that thought, it's often very simple, a couple of times, and then you let the thought go. And now think or feel, have an awareness of your whole body, from head to toe and from toe to head. And we're going to go through something called rotation of consciousness, where you just for a nanosecond bring your mind to the part of the body that I reference, and then let the mind just move from body part to body part. And if you lose what I'm saying, doesn't matter. If you find your mind lingers on a part, stay with that. If you drift off to sleep, stay with that. That's fine. So we'll start with the right side. And mentally bring your mind and your thoughts to the right hand, the thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth, fifth finger, and the space beyond the fingers. The palm, wrist, the right elbow, shoulder, armpit, waist, thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, right toes, first toe, second toe, third, fourth, little toe, and the space beyond the toes. Bring your focus now to the left side. Left thumb, second finger, third, fourth, little finger. Space beyond the fingers. The left palm, wrist, elbow, shoulder, armpit, waist, thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, the left toes, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, and the space beyond the toes. Come back to the right side. Start with the right toes. Start with the big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Come to the sole of the foot, the heel of the right side, ankle, calf muscle, knee, thigh, waist, armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, palm, right thumb, second finger, third, fourth, little finger, and the space beyond the fingers. Come to the left side. Go to the left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth, the sole of the left foot, heel, ankle, calf muscle, knee, thigh, waist, armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, left palm, left thumb, second finger, third, fourth, little finger. Come to the right side again. Right thumb, second finger, third, fourth, little finger. Right palm, wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, armpit, right waist, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, right heel, right sole of the foot, and right toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, sole of the right foot, heel, ankle, calf muscle, knee, thigh, right waist, armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and the right hand, thumb, second finger, third, fourth, and little finger. Going to the left side, the left hand, the left thumb, second finger, third, fourth, fifth, palm, wrist, elbow, shoulder, armpit, waist, thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, and the left toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, the sole of the left foot, the heel, the ankle, calf muscle, knee, thigh, waist, armpit, shoulder, elbow, wrist, palm, left thumb, second finger, third, fourth, little finger, and the space beyond the fingers. Bring your attention to your back. Take your mind to the back of the head, which is touching the ground. Come down to the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, and the spinal cord. The spine going up and down, the centre of the body. Come to the right hip, left hip, right buttock, left buttock, right side underneath the thigh and the left side underneath the thigh, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right ankle, left ankle, right heel, and left heel. Come back to the right ankle, left ankle, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right underside of the thigh, left underside of the thigh, right buttock, left buttock, right hip, left hip, the spine, up the spine, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, and behind the head. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, the spine, right hip, left hip, right buttock, left buttock, right underneath the thigh, left underneath the thigh, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right ankle, left ankle, right heel, left heel, right ankle, left ankle, right calf muscle, left calf muscle, right underside of the thigh, left underside of the thigh, right buttock, right hip, left hip, the spine, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, behind the head. Go to the front at the top of your head, the crown, the top of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, left eyebrow, centre of the eyebrows, the right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, right cheek, left cheek, right ear, left ear, upper lip, lower lip, chin, the throat, the right side of the chest, left side of the chest, the whole chest, navel, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, right abdomen, left abdomen, the right pelvis, left pelvis, right side of the groin, left side of the groin, right thigh, left thigh, right knee, left knee, right toes, left toes, left toes, right toes, left knee, right knee, left thigh, right thigh, left side of the groin, right side of the groin, left pelvis, right pelvis, left abdomen, right abdomen, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, navel, the whole chest, left side of the chest, right side of the chest, throat, chin, lower lip, upper lip, left ear, right ear, left cheek, right cheek, left nostril, right nostril, left eye, right eye, centre of the eyebrows, left eyebrow, right eyebrow, the forehead, the crown, the top of the head, the front at the top of the head, eyebrow centre. And now the inner parts of the body. Take your mind to the tongue, teeth, palate, inside the nose with the breath, inside the brain, the larger brain, the inner nasal orifice that opens to the throat through which wind passes, the right lung and the left lung. Feel it with the breath and fill your lungs by filling the lungs, the right lung and the left lung. Feel the heart by concentrating on the heartbeat. And now go to the canal which carries the food from the mouth to the stomach. Like a spiral, the food going down to the stomach. And from the stomach, the liver, back to the stomach, the kidneys, the whole abdomen internally. And start from the top again, the brain, the nasal orifice, the tongue, teeth, the palate, the right eardrum, left eardrum, the throat, the alimentary canal, the right lung, the left lung, heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, and the whole of the abdomen internally. Again, the brain, the nasal orifice, right eardrum, left eardrum, tongue, teeth, palate, throat, the alimentary canal, right lung, left lung, heart, stomach, liver, kidneys, the abdomen internally. Now the major parts of the body, the right leg, the left leg, both legs together, the right arm, left arm, both arms together, the whole of the back, the whole of the front, the head, the whole body. Visualize the whole body. Take your mind into the spine from the bottom, and then go from the spine to the perineum. And then move from the perineum back through, back to the spine, and then just go up to the navel, behind the navel and the spinal cord internally. And then move up the spine internally again to the heart. And staying at the heart. And keeping the eyes closed. Come back once more to your Sankalpa, that resolution that you made at the beginning of the practice. And just repeat your Sankalpa a couple of times. And let your Sankalpa drift away. And then we've come to the journey along the spine, and in the sound, this is the bass sound from the base of the spine. And then moving along the spine through the chakra points. That's the navel, the Manipura chakra, and the next one is the heart. And then we come to the three upper chakras connected to the element of ether, the throat, the third eye, and then the crown. And then the koshis, each koshi has a next to an element. So this is the base earth element. And then it's joined by the next element, which is the element of water. And then it's joined by the next element, which is the element of fire. And then it's joined by the next element, which is the element of air. And we come now to finishing our Yoga Nidra. Our Untitled Chapter is the finishing phrase. So you can either stay where you are on the ground and just drift off. If you want to come to a seated position, then please do. Taking your time. If you are coming up to a seated position, just move your fingers and toes and come to however that works for you. And while you're there, take your time. I'm just going to read some cards and thoughts for the day. So the first card for the day is Divine Timing. So interpret that how you want. Is it Serendipity? Could be another one. Manifestation. And then the next one is Study, which sounds like hard work. And then the fourth card of the day is Abundance, which is a nice note to finish on.
Lovely.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And